I'm looking at his Facebook page right now.
Hello, and welcome back to Horrific Horror Review. I'm Jim King.
I'm Eric B.
Welcome to episode 27.
Ooh, that's a good number. I like that
was
one
a good
better
year
than,
for me.
I like that one better than 26.
Yeah?
Yeah, it feels more Dark Towery.
There you
Wasn't
go.
27 a significant number? Wasn't it? There were a ton of numbers they threw on there. Anyways.
Yeah. So today we're going to bounce around Clive Barker is the idea.
Clive Barker. Clive Barker. So what do you think of Clive Barker?
I got introduced to his books early on.
His
and,
books.
And I
right?
really
That's what you,
liked
is that what
it.
you first think of when you think of Clive Barker? Is his books? Because that's how he started.
Yeah.
Was his short stories.
It was the short stories for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Books of Blood and In the Flesh. I think In the Flesh was the first one I read.
I was just looking at Books of Blood.
And it's good stuff.
It's great.
And
it's great shit.
The movies came later. For me, the first one I saw was Hellraiser from Clive Barker.
It was definitely the first Clive Barker thing.
He had some ventures before that, but that was the first one I saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I'm going to take it back a step because I found this one later on. And I really like the monster. The story and the movie, not so much. The story's cool, but the monster's awesome. Rawhead Rex.
Oh, yeah. I love Rawhead Rex, man. I love it. It was one of the first hardcore modern-day horror movies I ever saw.
Okay.
Rawhead Rex.
And it's kind of it's got that knockoff British feel to it. That
it's not a lot of money.
I had a hard time getting into. Yeah, exactly. Not a big budget.
Didn't put a lot of money into that movie.
He wrote the screenplay for that.
Yeah.
And
it's based upon one of his short stories, too.
And it's got that feel from a lot of his stories, like as I was thinking about this episode, not all of them, not exclusively, but a lot of them have to do with these ancients or gods.
Very ancient, an ancient power.
Yeah, yeah. It bleeds into a bunch of the other movies, too. And he's got a big thing for monsters and
millennia old,
right.
You know.
And underground, always underground, trapped underground somewhere. Yeah. Like Rawhead Rex, he was released on accident. From the funniest, cheesiest storm scene ever. But
it was some awesome, rear screen projection going on.
With crazy lightning. It was. It was.
He was buried beneath one of the the standing stones that are all over Western Europe.
It looked like
he was
Stonehenge
buried
kind of
beneath
stone.
one. Yeah, he was buried beneath one.
And there was a dude there that was
a farmer.
One of the first things you see that I remember from it anyway was the church stained glass.
With
Rawhead Rex. It's got Rawhead Rex, and he's all red, and he's got the mohawk. And when the sun hits it perfectly, his red eyes cast down inside the church, which I thought was pretty interesting.
It was cool.
And they were talking about how these several of these churches are built on old sacred grounds, pre-Roman.
Most churches in Europe.
And there was reasons
that have been
for
there
that.
for any amount of time.
It wasn't a place to go worship. It was more like a place to stay and keep this thing trapped, like their guardians, or whatever.
Yeah, and they eventually forgot.
Yeah, it slips through the cracks and it doesn't get handed
becomes,
down. Eventually you got two assholes digging up this fucking
a legend,
thing.
Becomes not even a legend. They don't even tell that legend anymore. It's just a fucking thing in a window.
Right.
And nobody even knows the story about it anymore. It became that
it's that monster in the stained glass that nobody knows about.
But that the fucking farmer's trying to move this great big rock out of his North 40. And he's like this fucking piece of shit. In the story he'd mentioned his father had fucking tried moving it, his grandfather tried moving it.
There's a generation of dudes that have tried to dig this thing out.
Eventually they fucking just give up on it, and he's trying to fucking move it. There's a reason why it's there. It's because it's kind of capped.
Exactly.
Rawhead Rex. It's kind of plugged him into the ground.
It was funny how they've got a tractor hooked up to it, and they've got the rope hooked at it's a pillar, and they've got the rope strapped at the very base of it. Yeah, and I'm like, that's the dumbest leverage point ever.
Right.
It was driving me nuts. I'm like, move that rope up, get out of that tractor, put it low. I'm getting frustrated. But anyway, that's how I know.
I hear you.
But I had to give it an honorable mention because it's a cool monster.
That's more than an honorable mention. I love Rawhead Rex.
Yeah.
I love anything that takes any movie where a monster takes a priest and pisses on his face, any movie where a big old demon monster makes a priest kneel in front of him and he whips out his dick and pisses on his face and like this, like he's like baptizing him, you know, in his fucking demon piss, and the fucking priest is all, like he's loving it, like, oh, you're a real god, my god's so fucking impotent and fucking useless, like you're fucking, this is what a god should be, and
it's pretty over the top for 1986,
dude. For a fucking kid, like Irish Catholic kid, I was like, oh,
it's all
look at this. Great. And they fucking kill kids in that movie. There's a kid, it kills the main character's little boy.
And the first victim you see, I'm pretty sure, second, is a pregnant lady. And he doesn't actually kill her, but he does that
yes
thing and makes her crazy.
Yeah. And there is, I won't give away the ending, but there is, and it has, this is a weakness or a strength, depending upon what ancient creature or being it is. Women during their menstrual period have a certain ability. They can tap into a certain something, according to ancient lore. They're at that period of time, like they're capable of things that men are never capable of, and that women aren't capable of when they're not on their menstrual period. So it was interesting. But yeah, I love Rawhead Rex, man. And that monster is so fucking heavy metal and rock and roll and Clive Barker.
So much, right?
He's all leather and
and slimy and
really long hair. He's like Guar Monster,
right?
Yeah,
totally,
for sure.
That's a perfect analogy.
I love Rawhead Rex so fucking much. Was that 1986?
Yeah,
I totally didn't see it when it first came out. I saw it like 90, man.
I saw it way later than that. Even I don't know if I just passed.
Not a hugely popular movie.
Yeah, and I don't think easy to get at my Blockbuster or whatever at the time.
No, not like you know what my uncle, shout out to my Uncle Bob. He found that at the local privately owned video store.
Right.
Where
they had the cool stuff.
Where you're more likely to find a weird movie. I
know the place.
The mom and pop video store.
That's where I found Time Bandits.
Midlothian Video, I think, was where he found it. Nice. But fucking anyways, good movie, Rawhead Rex. Yeah. I highly recommend Rawhead Rex. Highly.
It's worth a watch, and it's got a cool monster for sure.
If you like cheesy horror movies, you'll love Rawhead Rex. A lot. It's a lot of fucking. He murders a shit ton of people in that movie.
Yeah, there's a YouTube video that you can see it says all of his kills.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's 5 minutes long.
It's a lot.
It's solid,
he murders so many. You watch I don't know, the first Halloween, it's 4 people, 3 people. I think it's 3. Yeah, it's 3 or 4. 4 tops.
Kills 3 right at the start.
At the start,
as a kid.
Oh, he killed his sister.
And the boyfriend.
No, not in the original.
Or does he truck out the stairs?
In the original, it's just his fucking sister.
Upstairs, yeah.
But, and then you got Rawhead Rex. He killed fucking 50 fucking people in the first 20 minutes.
Right.
In a fucking trailer park. He just annihilates the trailer park. The whole fucking... That's another thing. He's not like a Jason to killing them one at a time. Right. He fucking shows up and he's like, "What's up, bitches?"
Right. He's just
I am here. He's not hiding. He's a god. Yeah. So he's not hiding.
Yeah.
He's not...
there's nothing stealthy about it.
No, it's not. It's not like I'm hiding in a slasher movie kind of sense. He's like, I'm going to piss on all of you.
Right.
Line up. Because I'm whipping out my giant demon dick and I'm pissing on you. Right. Worship me. That's what I liked about Rawhead Rex. He was a rock star.
I got 2 that I want to talk about for a long time, probably.
Okay.
So, I'm going to skip over those for a minute.
A long time.
Yeah. Because they are two of my favoriteest movies. They're on my list for sure.
Really? You got Clive Barker movies are some of your favoriteest movies?
Two of them, yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes. They put out quite a showing for me. But I'm gonna go old school again, skipping over Hellraiser because I know you don't like it very much, and
I don't love Hellraiser.
Like the first two.
I don't.
But I'm gonna go back to one of the ones that I liked for a minute, and I still do. I appreciate it. It's just kind of old school. Candyman.
Was that him?
1992. Candyman. Absolutely.
No shit.
No shit.
Huh?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he wrote it and produced it.
I mean, I guess it feels, if anybody's going to make that movie, I guess it'd be Clive Barker.
I like our main character. I like the man with the hook.
Candyman.
I like Candyman. Yeah, I liked his outfit. I like that actor anyway, but
he's great.
I really liked...
I like the hook a lot.
I like the hook a lot. And when they do the close-ups, how it's just stuffed in that stuff in the nails, exactly. And the majority of his kills come from behind.
Rusty. And
you get to see the hook come out through.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite kills is he kills this guy at a desk. It comes up behind him. It just pops up out of nowhere. And he's doing it looks like a sawing motion, but what he's doing is he's fitting that hook in behind him, and then he's yanking his spine out through his back.
Oh, yeah.
It's
really good.
I love it. And,
who directed that?
The fucking bees do not know who directed it.
I wonder who that was.
It was a good showing.
The bees, that's right.
Bees.
The fucking bees. Because of the honey, right?
Yes, they covered him in honey.
Yeah.
His naked body after they cut his hand off.
They cut his hand off, chained him to a fucking tree stump, or something.
Busted open a bunch of beehives and stole the honeycomb and lathered his naked body in it.
It's a shitty way to die.
Totally.
It's torture.
Agreed.
And it's because he was, with a white woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It took place in Cabrini Green. I gotta mention Cabrini Green.
All right.
South Side. Chi-town!
Nice.
They tore that shit down, dude.
That was a really ghetto area.
I'll never forget my first time in Cabrini Green.
Yeah.
No, I will never forget it.
Sure.
It wasn't my last time, but my first time. There's no time like the first time. I don't remember my last time, but I remember my first time, and it was some scary shit.
It looked like
sometimes you're in a neighborhood that you're not supposed to be in.
Oh, it looks abandoned, but it's not?
No, it does not look abandoned, sir. It looks like it is a fucking refugee camp, overrun. Okay. It is full of people.
So it's like District
9? Yeah, they cleared, when they were filming, they would clear spaces out. There's people everywhere. Everywhere. And a shit tons of people. And they do not, they know who lives there and they know who does not. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's yeah.
It is fucking, you're taking your life into your hands. Nice. For sure. And the cops, they're like, you're not supposed to be here. The fuck are you doing here? I'm researching a movie. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking idiot. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, that's another honorable mention for me. It's so now. Seeing it again as an adult,
it is so. It's because that guy and that monster were so good and iconic, and he did such a good job as the Candyman, and the Candyman is so cool that I think, and you see it as a kid, and I remember everyone thinking Candyman was really cool.
Yeah, I remember when we were kids, daring each other to say it in the fucking mirror.
I don't know if
Bloody Mary and shit.
It had, because I was from Chicago, I don't know if that had something to do with why people were so hyped about that monster. Maybe.
Came out in 92.
I didn't really get into it.
I wasn't huge in it.
I remember it being boring.
That's why it gets my honorable mention. Yeah, it was pretty boring.
But it is some good kills. It's boring. I don't like that actress either.
Yeah, me either.
That chick
I think that had a lot to do with it.
Boring. She's a boring actress.
Right? Okay, so I'm going to start with one of my favorites of the two. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know if we've ever even discussed it, actually.
Okay.
Midnight Meat Train.
Oh. Have I seen this?
It's Vinnie Jones and Bradley Cooper.
Have not seen it. Have not seen it. I don't think. No. I gotta say I haven't seen it.
You have to see it. You would love this.
Is it the Meat Monster? No, that's dude dies at the end. Yeah.
There's meat monsters.
There are meat monsters?
Okay. There's Vinnie Jones. Okay, we'll start with
This is pre-Bradley Cooper's fame, correct?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
It was before he got huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right before, actually. And he does great in this. After I like him anyway.
After being on Sex and the City, but before the Hangover.
Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
Before Hangover, yeah.
Right.
So, he's a photographer. And he's trying to sell his photography, and he takes a couple of pictures, but they're not nitty-gritty enough for Brooke Shields, is the art dealer lady.
Oh, Lord.
And she's like, go capture the real city, you know? So he hits the subway. And he, at one point, I'm not going to spoil the whole movie for you, but at one point he captures Vinnie Jones.
Who the fuck is Vinnie Jones?
Vinnie Jones. Bullet 220?
Okay.
My fucking Desert Eagle?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know the movie you're talking about now.
Okay.
Now I know the movie. I didn't realize Bradley Cooper was in that.
Yeah, he's the other main character. And so he starts following Vinnie Jones, who's carrying around this medical bag and dressed in a full suit.
Right.
And for some reason, he just gets a fucking vibe on this dude.
He's like, what's this guy?
Again, I won't ruin it for you because you have to see this movie. It's really good. What he does is he's part of a secret society that steals or kills, kind of, random people on the subway. And
don't want to ruin the movie?
No, I'm not ruining it.
Okay.
No, you get to this real quick.
Okay.
There's a subway car that Vinnie Jones has to put these bodies in.
Okay.
And at one point, the car deviates off the normal track, pulls off, and these ancients that only eat meat come out of like this crazy secret tunnel layer, and they eat these bodies off that are hanging in this car.
Ancients?
They're ancients, like they
what
say.
What do you mean when you say ancients?
Well, when they're explaining the cult and how it works of the people that are, like the guy who drives the subway cars in on it, Vinnie Jones is in on it. There's a few police that are in on it, you know, obviously to make it all keep moving smoothly.
Yeah, for sure.
And when they're explaining it, they're talking about how this has been done for years and years and years, like generations way back, that we were feeding them one way or another all the way through our history.
So who are they?
They don't explain it.
They don't explain who the ancients are.
You have to read the book is great, but they don't address it in the movie at all. Yeah. But
they explain to you who the ancients are in the book.
A little more, yes.
Okay.
You get the idea. It's kind of like a Cabin in the Woods kind of thing.
Right.
So, as much explanation as you got out of that.
Okay. And what do they look like?
Like the cover of Feast.
Oh.
Kind of. They're like zombies, but they got big teeth.
Okay.
Like Rawhead Rex teeth almost.
Cheesy monsters.
No, really well done because they're poorly lit.
Okay.
They look really shiny and draggy and
kind of
quick moving a bit. And you don't have
nothing that really like stands out about them.
Nah, just the crazy teeth. Like the crazy teeth, like extra rows.
It's been a while since I've seen a new monster design that I was
there's kills that this is where I'm going to go with. If you like kills you like brutal shit,
I do.
And thrown in a couple splashes of CGI that are really well done. Like at one point, an eyeball goes flying straight at you, and it seems like one of those movies where it had to have been in 3D, but it wasn't. But it's got that feel to it.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, you know? But he's got this big, like, bone crusher. It's a straight metal hammer, and it's like spiked on one side, you know, like a tenderizer. And then the other side it's flat, and this thing's probably like a 10-pound hammer. Like a big block Thor head hammer on the top of it, but it's all one piece, like chrome.
Big hammer, gotcha.
And the shit he does with this fucking thing, like he'll just implode a fucking skull from behind, or like at one point,
you talking about Vinnie?
Yeah, Vinnie Jones. Yeah, when he's using it. Yeah. Okay. And at one point, like he throws it like down the like a subway car
Uh-huh.
and hits this girl in the back of the leg and fucking drops her when she's running away. Like,
Okay.
it'll crush anything. It's so awesome to watch. Great blood. So much fucking blood. And
That's
gore.
one of those movies that I've been meaning to watch.
It's really good. It didn't do well in theaters, and it didn't get the props from even the fan base because the book is fantastic.
Oh, see?
So
that's what I'm excited about, actually, is the book. I'd really like that.
Right.
Because I like that ancient, that
yeah, me too.
piece of antiquity.
And I was sold on the fact that they
Yeah.
actually kept documentation of this shit. There's a lot of weird stuff. Like, he's got a ring that's got this symbol that looks kind of like a compass / wagon wheel kind of thing.
Okay.
And that's how they know they're part of the club.
They know each other.
Yeah, like the cop has like the lapel pin, or
Right.
whatever. He's a secret society
You
shit, and
feed
I've
the
always been into that.
monsters.
Right.
So do I.
Right. Like the videotape from the subway, that point where you saw the girl get on and you never saw her get off, that part gets erased, because the guy who works in the tape area.
Question, is there a reason why they keep these, they continue to feed these monsters? Is it so that they
don't explain it as far as other than to keep the order.
Like, instead of
they have to keep us
why don't you
separate.
guys swat them the fuck out of there?
Right. Why are you placating this?
Why?
What is the
like
reasoning?
fucking clear them the fuck out, man. Or is it because, if we feed them, they leave us the fuck alone? They're not pulling our babies out of our beds at night.
Right.
We tried that before. It doesn't fucking work.
They don't want them to mix.
They don't
with
tell
us
that
or
backstory.
mingle.
We kind of assume all this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But really great. Like,
I remember.
It's worth the gore.
Hardcore, like Horror Hound and shit, movie monster horror magazines touting it, talking it up, like quite a few years ago.
They went for it with the blood.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I didn't know it was a book, and I didn't know. I just got the impression just from pictures and stills that it was a slasher flick. You know what I mean? Like
kind of,
like the photos that I saw gave it like almost a Saw vibe. Like,
kind of,
it's about a murderer, and
But it's weird, like, he doesn't actually kill a lot of them. It's weird. Some of them are still alive. It's crazy. But he has, like, a whole ritual that he does. He, like, pulls all their teeth out. He pulls all their fingernails off.
So they can't fight back.
Hangs them upside down, like, by these meat hooks through the back of their ankles.
Is that why? So they can't fight
I
these
think
monsters?
so.
So they can't, like, hurt them?
Yeah, probably.
That's fucking...
They just make them hanging defenseless. Like, it looks like a row of butcher
Can't
shop.
hurt you.
Yeah, and they just come in and eat.
No one wants to get bit in the dick.
Pokes their eyes out, too.
Wow, blinds them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he's got these weird jars in his medicine cabinet at home. And, like, it's real weird. It's like... I'm not going to ruin it.
It would be cool to be a member of a secret society like that and know that you would never, ever get in trouble for fucking anything ever. Ever.
Yeah.
You'll never have a problem with the cops.
Right? Like, at one point, they break into his apartment and they steal, like, this, it's a schedule for all the Amtrak shit where he steals from, and he's got circles of which ones he's going to steal from.
Okay.
And it goes back, like, 100 years, this book that he has. And at one point, like, they break in and they steal this book, and they're trying to take it to the cops. And the cop flips it over, and they're like, well, the guy who lives there has decided not to press charges against you if you just give the book back. Now they're in trouble. You broke and entered into this defenseless guy's apartment.
Like, you don't understand. We're fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
I love shit like that.
It turned around on her so fast, and then they were like, you need to give us the book.
I love that. I love that shit.
It was cool.
Because I love, a lot of times with movies like that and stories like that, especially the first installation, things go up pretty high, but then by like later installations, you realize it goes all the way up to the top. Do you know what I mean? And it's fucking sick. I love it. Like, what's that one fucking Alex Jones fucking thing? There were all those fucking motherfuckers meet at that fucking island, and fucking there's that fucking owl effigy and all the presidents and fucking all those motherfuckers. You don't know about? No, there's a secret society. You know what I'm talking about? It's not a society. I'm sorry. It's like 1 week out of the year, all these like the major heads of business and government meet. You've never heard about this?
Okay. All at one place, all at one time.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't someone nuke that fucking island?
Because they're the ones with the nukes. it's you never saw this?
No.
I'll send you a link to it. They worship this big owl effigy, and some guy a few years ago got in and actually videotaped it for the first time. An outsider like videotaped it and showed it, and they all play it off like, oh, it's just a ritual that we've done. It's just like Halloween for grown-ups, blah, blah, blah.
Super rich, powerful people.
Yeah, but it's like super weird. Like, it's super, like, why the fuck would you do that every year like that?
I just picture deviancy.
Oh, it's total. It's like the Hellfire Club from, the 18th century.
Right. Like, I'm picturing fucking Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. That's exactly the same kind of people, but it ends with this, like, huge, like, weird outdoor festival where they, like, burn. There's this huge fire, and there is a sacrifice, but in public like that, when it's outside, it's a ceremonial sacrifice.
Right.
But I'm of the belief that they do that shit underground. Yeah, they're really fucking murdering somebody, and there might only be like a dozen people in that room. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I firmly believe that these people kill people to stay rich. I do. I really fucking do. I really do. If they kill one fucking hooker, they kill one pregnant hooker. Like double whammy. The gods love baby blood. They love that shit.
Double whammy.
Anyways,
two birds, one stone.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
So let's take a break for a cigarette and come back and talk Nightbreed.
Okay, yeah, that's a hardcore movie. It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're back. We're going to talk some Nightbreed now.
Sí,
señor. Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto.
So, let's start with, when was the first time you saw it?
Nightbreed! I saw Nightbreed in the B&B. The Bonneville basement with my grandfather and my dad.
I saw it in the theater.
You saw it in the movie theater?
Yes. I was 18 years old.
Okay.
Went with my girlfriend.
Okay.
Big Clive fan she was at the time. So, yes. From the get-go, they advertised it heavy. So I was real fucking excited about this movie. Coming from...
I do remember a lot of entertainment.
They hyped it. They talked about it on MTV and shit. Advertising.
Lots.
Yeah, they pumped it. And it ended up tanking as far as theater and money goes.
I don't know why.
I don't either. Because I love it.
I love it.
It's we're both big monster fans, so just that aspect alone is worth the monsters.
There was a lot of shit that came with Nightbreed. There were like trading cards, and magazines, and all kinds of comic books. There was all kinds of shit.
There's tons of comics, yeah.
There was all kinds of shit that came with. I remember like having Nightbreed trading cards for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, they were awesome.
That's cool. With your Lady Death cards.
Yeah, it was cool. They were so. I don't know why that movie failed the way it did. He's talked about it. Like the studio really fucked him and like changed the movie and like cut it up.
Right, there is a director's cut. And
like there's a version of it that I see.
He more approves of.
I remember him talking about a version. And I don't know. Maybe they've come out with it, but he was talking about a version that didn't exist.
Yeah.
That was like he's like my original cut was sick. He's like it was a little long. He was like, but it was fucking epic and it made like everything make more sense. Not that it doesn't make sense. It makes perfect sense.
But maybe it was more fluid.
But maybe it was, I don't know, just deeper. Went way deeper into the mythology of Midian and those monsters, and
Midian.
why I think the studios were like, people don't need to know all this shit.
Right.
People aren't going to be interested in all this shit. They just want a monster. We just want a monster picture.
Right.
Chop on
Vehicle. Yeah.
Fucking.
You owe us a third movie in between the Hellraisers. Chop, chop.
Yep. And they cut it to pieces.
Right? Like action figures.
I would have
loved it.
I would have loved it.
So set it up.
What, Nightbreed?
Yeah.
So that guy Boone. Well,
stupid Craig Schaefer.
Yeah, he usually plays a dickhead. He's in River Runs Through It, I think.
He's in a douchey football movie.
And he's in an awful football movie that I hate.
Program, I think it's called.
I don't know. I think it's a piece of shit. And then there's fucking what else?
Yeah, I don't
he's
know.
in a lot of
I'm not
bad
a
shit
huge
where he
fan
usually
of
plays a dick, but he's the
main
he's the protagonist of the story. And it kicks off like he's, with his psychiatrist. Right?
Dude, David
Cronenberg. Played by Cronenberg.
One of the greatest characters of all time, I think. It's
fucking Cronenberg, one of the
Dr.
greatest
Philip Decker
fucking directors ever.
Playing such a creepy fucking part, too. Just
super creepy.
And one of the coolest masks ever, I think.
So Boone, the main character, Boone, his psychiatrist is a serial killer, psychopath / serial killer, and he actually frames Boone.
Yes.
For his own murders.
Yes. He's giving him medication and convincing him that he's...
Yeah.
And what he's doing is Boone's having these dreams, and then he's acting out the dreams and then convincing Boone that he was the one acting them out.
Which is pretty fucking sick.
Trying to talk him into turning himself in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cronenberg's voice is so fucking creepy.
Oh, creepy, dude.
You need to turn yourself in.
Especially when he's got the mask on, when he's doing the whining. I can't do it justice, so I won't, but it was fucking great.
When Cronenberg is doing his killing, the psychiatrist is doing his killing, he's got a great fucking mask.
Great. I love it. I'm actually thinking about purchasing it.
It's one of the greatest masks in movie history. In my humble opinion.
I love the stretch to the side and the weird zipper.
Distorted.
Yeah.
How
and he wears it with like his straight up business suit and like a fucking what do you call it?
Overcoat.
Yeah.
He just pops it on.
Yeah. Just the mask. And it completely changes personality then.
He's got some great knives.
Yes.
Well, they're long.
And he's such a dick, too. He's poking that old man trying to get information about Midian.
Yeah.
And he's like poking him in the kneecaps and shit. And I'm sitting there going, ow.
He frames our main character, and our main character ends up getting shot dead.
Yes.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
No. You're skipping the
I'm
part,
skipping a bunch of shit.
Like where he ODs on the medicine and ends up in the hospital. And that's where he meets the guy that peels his fucking face off. Which is one of my favorite parts. He has thumb ring knives.
So
they're so cool.
There's, for whatever reason, and they don't explain a lot of this, Boone knows about this city called Midian. Do they ever explain why he knows?
They explain it almost like it's a fairy tale. And certain people believe it's a true place,
it's like a local legend,
or even bigger. But yeah, I think so.
So he's having like visions and nightmares about this city, Midian, this subterranean city populated by monsters.
Really cool monsters,
and it really inspires the psychiatrist Decker. He's like, "Oh, this sounds awesome,"
Yes, I need to eradicate them all.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
I want perfection everywhere.
He said he kills breeders and bad breeds. That's one of his speeches. I've killed so many bad breeders.
Right.
He thinks he's doing us all a favor by
eliminating inferior bloodlines.
Yeah.
And these are like the most inferior of bloodlines. Do you know what I mean? These are monsters.
Yes.
And he eventually, there's a bunch of shit. In the long run, he gets shot and dies. and when he comes back as a monster, he comes back and he's no longer just Boone.
Right.
He's one of the chosen who can go live in Midian. He's one of them. He's a monster.
And actually part of the prophecy now where he's been bitten.
Right.
He got bit by the cool guy.
Yeah, that's right. He got bit.
Too.
That's right. Yeah, he went fucking dicking around in Midian.
Yes.
That's right. It's been so
that's
long
where he got
since
shot
I
on the way out.
That's right.
Yeah, he got bit. And it was part of their cave painting of the prophecy. That he's the one who's going to save them, but actually is going to destroy them and help them move.
Yeah.
So he has to tear it down to rebuild it, I guess.
Fucking guess.
Ruins it.
The fact that this city is in the United States is bizarre.
True.
I get the impression maybe it's not the first Midian.
No, I got the impression it moves around.
Because it is in the United States. Do you know what I mean? It can't be, you know, I mean.
How many could it really be?
Yeah.
I got you.
It's pretty.
One of the things that I didn't know is, the old man, the guy in charge,
yes.
That's Doug Bradley.
Who is
the guy who plays Pinhead from
Hellraiser. Okay.
Did not know that till recently that he was under that makeup.
I really like Nightbreed a lot. As a kid, I saw it, I was either 12 or 13.
It was a fucking cornucopia of monsters.
Very inspiring movie.
It was the first time I saw a sexy monster, too.
The
porcupine lady.
Yeah.
Had some real nice curves.
Yeah, she was pretty awesome
but
looking.
Super dangerous.
She was super awesome looking.
That first scene when they go down into the depths of Midian and they kind of walk. Yeah.
Where he's giving him the tour.
Yeah.
The monster tour.
Just monster after monster after monster.
Yep.
And there's some great ones down there.
Yep. Some really cool monster designs, and that's another thing. Clive Barker is great about designing monsters that aren't. It's a werewolf. It's a vampire. He doesn't. He creates his own
tentacles out of its belly.
He creates his own monsters a lot,
and very descriptive too. I love how he brings it to you.
He's also very inspired by hell.
Very. Very.
And demons.
Yes.
The flip side of Catholicism, everything that Catholicism talks about being evil, he's all about it. You see so much demonic imagery.
And that's where I do love Hellraiser 1 and 2. The Cenobites and the story behind it and the pleasure and pain.
Hellraiser is the demons in Hellraiser are absolutely nothing visually like the demons you see in any traditional religious artwork ever.
Right.
They are very much a modern construction.
They're very heavy metal.
They're very 20th century Kiss inspired monsters,
kinda. With a lot of dental work.
Yeah,
interesting bridges and
they're horrible looking creatures.
They are, and they were really cool until they had one that had a CD.
Okay, that guy sucked.
So bad.
CD head sucked.
So bad. I think that's where I lost faith in the whole fucking franchise.
When compact discs first came out, you saw them being used in film in a way that was I don't know, assholes were just these are cool. Let's put these in a movie. One of my favorite movies from that point in time is a movie that is sometimes called Dark Angel. I know it as I Come in Peace. It's Dolph Lundgren.
I know it. You leave in pieces.
Yes, great, fucking cheesy, super cheesy. Not a lot of money. Early '90s. Predator had come out. Type movie.
Right.
Man, that guy shot CDs out of a fucking,
out of a wrist rocket.
Yep, out of a wrist rocket.
Nerf launcher.
Yeah, it was fucking. There was a lot of that at the time. There was a lot of that.
Oh man, fucking Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, you know what? Masters of the Universe should have been really cool.
It should have been really cool.
Christopher Lee was Skeletor. Or no, was it? No, it was Frank Langella. It was Frank Langella.
Yeah.
That's who it was. Yeah. I'm mixing up my Draculas.
There you go.
Nightbreed's great though.
Who's your favorite monsters?
I like the Dreadlock monster.
Pelican.
Yeah. And the Moon Man.
The half moon head
guy?
The crescent moon head.
Woo!
He was really
fucking cool looking, man.
Very cool.
And he was, you know what? He was kind of sensible. Like, he was always trying to talk sense to his crazy friend. Like,
yeah.
Chill out.
Calm down. We don't want to get caught.
Fuck, man.
Right.
You know, he was cool. Like, I
loved the Lowrider Mercury, too. That the
cool car.
The lady that could, like, turn into freaking
smoke.
Just vapor. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, smoke.
Yeah.
That she drove a really cool car.
She did drive a cool car.
And I liked the guy that cut his face off or tried to peel his skin off of his face.
Yeah,
because he just stayed that low.
He just stayed that way.
That peeled open, fleshy face.
That's another thing. Okay, so Boone's look when Boone turns monstery.
He's got the engraving tattoos.
Didn't love it, bro.
I didn't either. It seemed a little cheap. Not cheap, simple, I guess is the word for it. It could have been, like, why couldn't it have come with, like, Hellboy horns or something?
I just thought it wasn't enough.
Agreed.
You know?
And still rocking the leather jacket and stuff.
Possibly, like, maybe his look would have evolved if they'd made more. Maybe he would have gotten more monstery over time.
Yeah.
But we never found out because they never made the sequel.
Right.
And it ends with a wide open for a sequel. Like, clearly, like, they were like, we're going to continue the story of Boone and the monsters.
I think it was supposed to do so much better.
And it was supposed to do, of course, yeah. I mean, that's one of those movies that goes down in horror movie history.
And it sucks.
Should have been great.
Yeah.
Wasn't because of the studio.
Yeah. I got a perfect example of that, of, like, it was the perfect storm for me. It was one of my favorite stories. It was one of my favorite directors, and I loved the movie. And everyone fucking hated it. Hated it. But Dune, David Lynch's Dune.
I love Dune.
I fucking love it. I love it. And
I watched Dune, and I don't see what's wrong with it.
I don't know.
Do you know?
I think
why do people not like it?
It was too complex for little kids, and like the idea, like I mean, they made action figures for that and toys, and it just tanked. Nobody wanted them, but man, I do. I want like the Spice Worm and the Kyle MacLachlan fucking suit. I love that movie, and it pitted.
I liked it as a little kid.
I did too. I went and saw it with my dad when I was little.
I was really little. You know, and I liked it. Like, I was at Star Wars age, and I liked it. I liked it just fucking fine. Like, I didn't have any problems with it.
But my dad had gotten me into the books already. Like, I had started.
See, I was way too young for those kinds of books. I was like 5. You know?
I don't remember what year it came out. Like 84 or something. 85.
Yeah. 83, 82, maybe even.
Maybe.
It was 83. I'll say 83.
Yeah.
It was
good. I liked it.
It's an old movie now.
Totally.
They keep talking about
fucking Captain Picard's in that shit.
I know.
I love it.
What was his name? Fuck.
Duncan.
No. Duncan was the other one. Duncan was the one who got shot in the head.
Right. Pfeiffer?
Fuck, he had a great name, though. Damn it. I'll think of it. I'll think of it later. I was like, fuck.
Wasn't Duncan?
No.
Duncan was the other guy.
Duncan was like his kind of like...
brother-ish guy.
Yeah.
He was going to go fight first.
Remember those bullets they had?
They would
like drill
super slow through their fucking
their force fields, their personal force fields, which I thought was another really cool thing.
I thought it was super cool that it could only be slow. Like the slow blade could penetrate it. Yeah. And that fighting machine that popped out the flames and the arms and the skewers and fucking...
Dune is cool.
And you had to have that voice.
Dune's a cool movie, man.
Dude, I loved it.
There's nothing wrong with Dune. There's nothing. I know people don't like it.
Example of like it had that same feel on Nightbreed, like heavily advertised, lots of big stars.
I can't even remember.
Just tanked.
But I know maybe it has to do with the fact that they were books and fans of the books were like, it's not enough. But dude, it was enough.
It was
man.
Visually stunning.
Fuck,
so much cool shit.
I've tried reading those books. Jeez,
heavy.
Fuck.
Those are books that come with companion explanation books.
It's got its own language. That book has its own language.
Like the Dark Tower.
And it's more so. Way more so. Like,
Tolkien.
It's really hard, yes. but it's less digestible than Token. Like, it's really, you got to be committed to do it.
Yeah.
Like, hardcore.
Yeah. So what else you got? What do you got on your list? Yeah.
Well, Clive Barker. I like Nightbreed a lot. I know I've talked about I really want the Two Cities, I think is the name of the short story, to be a movie. It's the one where the two towns make giant people out of each other. Like, there's these two villages often in like Eastern Europe somewhere, like Carpathians or some shit. And every century, these two cities will build a giant man out of the people. And they lash themselves together with leather and rope and and they recreate a body, like the muscles and the biceps and the tendons and even the fucking face and the eyes. Like, the eyes are like fucking like a dozen kids wrapped up together, like in a socket. It's fucking crazy. Cool. It's crazy. Can you imagine what that would look like?
It would be cool. And
they're both cities, they design it a little different every time. So what works for this city, like trial and error. They both look a little different. This one's arms are a little longer, maybe, and you know what I mean. Like, they're not perfect copies of each other, and they've definitely like changed.
And they duke it out.
Yeah,
or they have like weapons.
Fight? No,
just duke it out.
Just they put I love his description of the first punch. Just bodies.
This reminds me of the movie Ants, where they all like make a ball,
just snapping and. You're like,
because the outer layer just dies.
Just people, and it just crushes
40 people.
And then as soon as he pulls his fist away, it's blood and arms, broken limbs hanging. Can you imagine what this would look like?
He's really a great descriptive writer, so that's got to be great.
It is incredible, and the end result is both. The one city loses, and it's. Just thousands of bodies all over the place.
It's great.
Just and the ground is muddy with blood. It's mud blood.
So that's your, hey, Hollywood, can you make this?
Yes, because we're now at a point where we can make it.
Right? For sure.
If you would have made it when that story came out, it would have been either stop motion animation or something. I don't know.
Animation.
It would have been, and I'm a huge believer in practical effects, in old school, in the room special effects.
But
this is the kind of thing that I think computer-generated graphics would lend itself well to.
Sure.
I think the close-ups of the body and the people in the body should be practical. But I think when you're doing two giant cities made out of fleshy, mushy people punching each other,
that's great.
That should be. It just needs to be CG.
Yeah. I don't. They could do a great job with it now.
It would be amazing. It would. It's so good. It's so good.
So I'm going to give a quick shout out. We talked about this. I don't care for the movie much, but we have to mention it, I guess. Lord of Illusions.
Oh, Lord of Illusions with Scott Bakula. Quantum Leap.
1995.
Piece of shit.
Right in the throes of MTV. And
I remember starting my senior year of high school and seeing trailers for this piece of shit and being like, this is the guy who made Hellraiser?
Right.
Because they were like, from the guy who made you Hellraiser. Fucking Lord of Illusions. Scott Bakula. From Quantum Leap. They all mentioned that. I was like, oh, this looks like it sucks. Private detective. Quantum Leap is looking for a magician. Dun, dun, dun. It was not cool. And it had Benny.
Yeah, it did.
Fucking Benny.
One of my, yeah. The opening sequence has a really terrifying scene to me, and the rest of it I didn't care for. But they have that blue fucking face baboon tied up, and it's like scratching at this girl and making those baboon noises, and I think they're terrifying. That's one of the animals that I would like fight. But there's lots of
terrifying animals.
Yeah,
they're ugly. They're violent.
Strong, violent. Yeah, they got attitude. Like
they're mean fucking animals.
Yeah.
And baboons appear frequently in demonic art.
Right?
Very frequently. A lot of times the devil is portrayed as being a baboon.
Questionable, yes.
It's
believable.
There was a great
do you remember the ones that attacked
Damien?
Exactly, from the Omen. Yeah.
Another baboons appear frequently in anything having to do with the devil.
That's interesting.
I think there's a reason. I think for the obvious reason, like it's a primate, and it's clearly like the most evil primate.
Right.
You know, like it is just like everything awful about us.
They
encapsulated in this. They're everything about them is horrible. Everything. They're just the most awful version of us. You know what I mean? They really are.
It embodies all the dark side.
They are fucking creepy as shit. I hate them. I hate fucking baboons. So
yeah, that thing screaming and the dude laughing and then scratching that lady, it was a strong opening for me.
It was like a very
but then it turned into like
Manson family type situation.
Yeah, very cool.
Off in the desert, little abandoned house.
But the way it was filmed, even though it should have been better, to me it's got that same feel as like the TV version of it. It was acting seemed cheesy.
It was cheap.
It was grainy.
It was cheap. The actual Lord of Illusion. No, I'm sorry. No, wait, that was Betty, right? That's what he referred to himself as. Or there was like the real magician.
Right.
He sucked. Dude. He sucked so
just poor bad guy
fucking bad. That guy usually plays like the corrupt CIA agent in a bad Schwarzenegger movie. That's who that guy plays. He doesn't play the main bad guy in a fucking horror movie. Fuck you.
It was weird casting.
Terrible. Maybe he would. You know what? I'm thinking maybe Clive Barker was tight with the guy. Like they partied hard.
Right.
And Barker was just like, "You're just really cool, man."
His buddy.
I know you're having a hard time and we need a big paycheck. And I don't really like this story anyway.
My God, that water went down the wrong pipe.
So I don't like Lord of Illusions.
Yeah, so I'm skipping over. I'm giving it an honorable mention. So there you go.
What are some other? You got a list. What are some other of his movies?
There's a couple other ones I don't care about. I wrote down the ones that I cared about.
What are some that you don't care about? I'm curious.
I don't remember. I don't have the filmography open.
I do. Somewhere.
There you go.
Let me see. I'm just curious. Now I'm really curious to see what other stinkers he might have had.
And see, when you look at it, it's deceiving too because they threw his name around a lot in the production aspect, where he didn't write or direct.
Oh, Oh, yeah.
So those are cheater flicks.
He was born in Liverpool. Do you know that?
Yeah. I did meet him once. I got his autograph.
Hellraiser, Candyman, Midnight Meat Train. A lot of Hellraiser. That was those are pretty much it as far as his movies go.
Lord of Illusion. Then you get to Midnight Meat Train. I don't even think there's anything past Midnight Meat Train.
There are a lot of Lord of Illusions movies. He writes a lot of stinkers.
Yeah,
he really does.
No, he
does
blown out. I think his stories are great.
I think a lot of his stories are great. I don't think all of them are great, though.
I'm a big fan.
I don't think all of them are great. I think sometimes
he got into a weird moment where he was doing like sci-fi fantasy too. It was kind of weird.
He gets into this weird formula where he's like, blood, sex, devils. Blood, sex, devils.
I like his erotica though.
I think he tries too hard sometimes. Maybe. You know what I mean?
Poser? Call him a poser?
No, I'm not calling him a poser. I'm not. You know what? On that level, I don't know. I kind of laugh. I don't know.
You're backing out.
He just seems like I don't want to talk shit about Clive Barker.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not into his. I don't buy it. I don't buy his erotic horror shit.
No,
no, I don't.
Gotcha.
I'm too old school. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, he just he reminds me of that fucking like. I I'm not gonna. I see. I'm gonna insult him.
Yep.
I can't. No, I'm not gonna do that. No,
Yep.
never mind. He's a cool guy. He's
There
a cool
you go.
guy. He seems like a cool guy.
Well, jeez. All right.
I do love Rawhead Rex though.
Yeah.
Out of all of his shit, I'd say Rawhead Rex and Nightbreed are the two, like his two best movies.
Really?
Yeah, Rawhead Rex and Nightbreed for sure. But
I
I
don't care
haven't
for
seen
Rawhead
Midnight
Rex.
Meat Train though.
And it's great. And I give a lot of props to Hellraiser 1 and 2. I like them a lot. It's if they would have stopped at 2, I wouldn't have that tainted.
See, I think 3 is the one that I have a soft spot for.
It's so bad.
The one with the CD head, I think, is the one I have.
I'm pretty sure.
Right? Isn't there like some fucking cheese dick Marky Mark looking
that
club
runs
owner?
a nightclub?
That's it.
And he bought the statue.
How now?
The rotating.
Okay, do they explain how Pinhead end up in that statue? Like, does two?
How he's frozen in
does
time.
two
and that.
end with him stuck in this pillar?
Getting closed up from the box. Yeah, like
so that pillar, like that.
Yeah, that rotating pillar with all the hooks and the chains and the people's faces.
So 2 ends with him stuck in that.
That's the idea.
Okay.
And so here's the next story.
All right, which was cheesy as dick.
Oh God,
I mean, dick cheese.
Stinky.
Oh wow.
But it was an interesting concept. But yeah, the way they put that whole.
But I'm
80s
partial. I'll
Aquanet
watch it. I'll put
spin
on Hellraiser 3 and take a nap. For sure,
Exactly.
I will because it's like just gives me the warm and fuzzies, you know.
Yeah,
Because I saw it when I was a kid.
yeah. No, I don't care for them past that.
No, they're really bad. They get worse. Hellraiser
And-
gets
and
progressively worse. Like
Didn't they
really.
make other Candymans too? Like I want to.
Oh yeah,
say
they're
they made
pieces
like
of shit.
2
They're
or
awful.
3
You know, I mean, the first one was boring. The rest of them are painfully boring. Like, it's just you can only see a guy get hooked so many times.
Yeah,
He just because
exactly.
it's not like he mixes it up. You know what I mean?
say that though, but then I mean, people have watched Jason come with that machete forever.
Yeah, but Jason mixes it up though.
Some flavor.
If you watch it, Friday the 13th, almost every kill, he's killing someone in a different way.
So
everyone, you get the sleeping bag, you get the axe, you get the spear. You know what I mean? It's like it's real.
Do you remember we were talking about that killer cut
Of
Friday the 13th?
the original.
Well, I looked into it.
Yeah.
I picked it up and actually read the back instead
Okay.
of just fluffing through it. It's the Michael Bay one.
Oh God.
Okay, yeah. With lots of cool kills, parts and stuff in it.
Shit that
But
they cut out.
No, I think just compilations of kills. And then it's got
Okay.
the thing that sold me on it to where I probably will buy it. I put it back at the time, but I saw that it's on sale for like $5 now, so I'm probably going to buy it. But you know how on Blu-rays you can do that interactive play with it while it's recording thing, that Blu-ray Live thing, whatever? You can play like a quiz game during watching the whole thing, and it pays homage to all the original movies.
Okay.
And that would be fun.
Really?
Maybe. Yeah.
That'd be fun at a party or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's only like $5 for the Blu-ray, so that's worth it.
But it's the Michael Bay one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Yeah.
bloody enough for me.
It was a little too.
Wasn't gory enough. Didn't have enough. It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I
you.
want to. I don't know. With my slasher flicks, I want to see intestines hitting the floor.
You got deprived of that.
I want to see fucking just. I want
gotcha.
to see tendons and organs flying around.
Not girls
chunks.
being burned in a sleeping bag
No,
over a
pretty
fire.
weak, man. Pretty weak. I want to see her slammed against a fucking tree in that sleeping bag. Wham!
Who doesn't? Exactly. All right. So that's Clive Barker,
Pretty much in a nutshell.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
I like kinky sex and scary shit. Okay, Clive.
And hooks.
You're cool.
Right, lots
I'm
of
sorry.
hooks.
I don't mean it. Yeah, I like hooks. Yeah, he's like the guy who busts out the knife like during sex with some chick, some hot chick. Like, hey, let's cut each other. You know,
Maybe,
like,
maybe
oh
no.
fuck, man, you're that guy. Shit. And the girl's like, fuck. Well, he is loaded.
So do what you want.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
Yeah. What are we doing next time?
I don't know. Let's take requests.
Yeah.